Welcome, everyone. It's Karen Polino Carrere, and I am going to be joining you for the next 5 weeks on Tuesdays. One of them will be a Monday, only because I had a pre scheduled appointment, but every Tuesday, and you'll get updated each week for my new series, Who Am I in the Midst of Change? So I always love, my passion is to support others on their journey and help them connect to their authentic true self, but also awaken to true potential in the midst of challenge or change. So welcome everyone coming on, say hello. And if you're listening in the replay, welcome as well. So it's a joy to be here. I always love sharing something new. I have been truly inspired by a wonderful community that I started a year ago called Awaken My True Self. So as well as being their guide, I have been the student as well as the teacher at the same time. And I have learned so much from others as well as my own journey and coaching, supporting, guiding many over the past 25 years. Wow. And so it is my joy to support with tools, with insight, with wisdom and guidance. And I've learned so much from this community that we all are in the midst of change multiple times during our lives. So I wanted to pick 5 key challenges that we have along the journey, but challenges are also opportunities, especially when you see it from the soul level. So today's intention, and I'm welcome questions. If you're not on live, I also welcome you to leave questions here, both on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll be happy to answer them. But today's intention, each week during the 5 weeks, we're going to have different intentions. Hi, Kathy and Doris. And today's intention is, who am I in an empty nest? Now, I have to say, I have been through each one of the discussions I'm going to have each week, and my children are now, Joelle is 32 and Justin is 29. So this was probably about 15 years I started to go through the empty nest, although I feel every September is a new step in our kids going back to school. So it may be a temporary empty nest during the day, or it could be when they're off to college or have moved out of the home. And I've experienced all of these. I'll tell you a little funny story that my first experience with sending Joelle off to college was really kind of traumatizing. You know, when we go through these major transitions in our life, our ego kicks in and wonders, who am I? In the loss of a role that we played, an identity as mother. We will always be mothers or fathers or caretakers. We will always have that role, but the identity of knowing ourselves as a full-time mother or father, it changes, it shifts. And I remember when Joelle went off to school, it was a very teary goodbye. And I was having a hard time letting go. I wore her sweatshirt that she wore all the time, but left at home. And I literally did not take it off for 2 weeks. I was grieving, right? when we go through a loss of any kind, we go through a grieving process. So first of all, I want to coach you in honoring wherever you're at. If you're experiencing an empty nest or any type of loss, one is that you can't run away from it because it'll just keep running after you. So we need to really honor our feelings, our emotions, and that transition period that we're going through, in that change in identity, in the loss that we're experiencing, in the change of roles that happen as a natural evolution of our life journey, right? So first of all, I love teaching through my process. It's called ACHA, ACA, like having an aha moment, an ACHA moment. And the first day is about awareness. And so we have an awareness that we're going through a major shift, a major change. And self-compassion is truly important during this time, feeling our feelings to heal and really being honest with and patient with ourselves and having self-compassion. So gentleness, everyone, remember gentleness. And so you really want to start taking time for yourself. I truly believe in every week that I'm going to talk to you, when we go through the midst of a change, and when we come to the question, like we are when we are in the change, who am I without my children? I mean, that is a soul question that starts to come when we feel we're in that unknown, lost place in the midst of change. Our soul steps forward. And one of those deep questions that come when we're on the journey of waking up and remembering, who am I? What is this life experience all about? That big question, who am I, emerges. So it's very natural to feel when you're in an empty nest. Who am I without my children? Who am I when I'm by myself? Who am I without this role as consistent as it's been? So it feels like you're transitioning through a new hallway, headed towards a door, but you kind of feel lost. And that's where I was in those, the 2-week shock period of wearing her sweatshirt every day. And then Louise finally said to me, Karen, okay, I can't have you coming to bed in Joelle's clothes all the time. You gotta move on, right? You gotta move on. And so we can get stuck sometimes when we feel that loss of identity, loss of role, but it's just a short period of time. So be in awareness and in self-compassion, and realize that this is a key, everyone. I'm trying to give you key things that you can break free from and break through to return to yourself, right? Because there's nowhere else to go but back home to yourself, or you stay in holding on, which creates suffering. So I want you to do a little exercise right now, because this can apply to anyone who's holding on in loss of identity, loss of role, in the midst of change. I want you to pick up and hold something around you. Okay, so I'm going to hold my deck of cards that are right here. So just hold on to something around you. Just grab anything. Everybody's got something around them. So I want you to just feel what it's like to hold on to whatever you're holding on to. It takes effort to hold on, right? Just feel that you're holding on. If you had to carry this around every day, all day long, you couldn't write with your hand, or you couldn't use your hand to do other things. It would get probably exhausting, cumbersome. It would hold you back. So if you carried this object around with you like 2 weeks, putting that sweatshirt on that I had to have to feel connected to Joelle, right? Feel connected to being a mom, feel connected to my children. You get this? So I want you to drop that object, right? Drop it. Open your hand. It's less effort to hold on, right? It's freeing not to have to hold on. And think about it. When we hold on in fear of letting our children go off to school, even if it's preschool, middle school, high school, they're not ours to hold on to and to manage, micromanage, control. These are all the human experiences we have. And our ego, that's one thing I love to teach, the difference between the play of the ego and the dance of being in the dance of your ego and shifting to your soul and to soul wisdom, to soul guidance, to soul truth, to soul love, right? Ego operates on conditioning, on fear, on worry. So if you're holding on to your kids when it's time for them to spread their wings and find themselves and to discover themselves and to sometimes make mistakes and to have experiences, that's all a part of the life journey, right? So when we free them, let go, free ourselves, we allow ourselves, letting go creates freedom. Freedom for you, freedom for your children. So think about it. If you're holding on, right, to your children, this object you're holding on to represents it. When we hold on, usually we're holding on because we don't trust. We're not in our soul trust. We're in fear, in worry, in wanting to control when we don't. And when we don't have control, you want to control even more, right? So our soul will step forward in that question, who am I? Who am I now? Who are they now? Well, we have to dive into that discovery. We have to focus on that. So letting go creates freedom for you to move forward and shift through that transformation, that change, that void, that uncertainty, moving through the fear. We're constantly doing this on our journey called life. But if we hold on, we're not making room for that freedom to unfold and for our kids to be free to explore in the next chapter of their lives. There's an evolution to us being here in growth and learning and experiences. So how does it serve them and you to hold on and to be in fear or be in worry? They're going to feel that fear and worry on some level. But if you surround them with love, trust that you've given them the foundation that you were capable and knew to give them before they flew from the nest, that you have to trust that foundation. You have to trust that they're really not ours. They're our creators. They're God's children, not ours, right? We think they're ours. Our ego thinks they're my children, but they're the children of the universe. They're the children of the creator, of God. So let go, let God take care of them. It doesn't mean you're not going to check in, ask them how they're doing, continue to support them as a mother, a father, a caretaker, a grandparent. You're going to move into trusting that this abundant universe and their soul, their divine family, surround them with angels. I used to do that all the time. Call on 10,000 angels, Archangel Michael, protect them, guide them, surround them. give them everything they need to support them, other than my fear and worry, right? See them, I remember when Justin went to college, he was a homebody. He was really spreading his wings and sometimes crossing lines that I was very uncomfortable with. So I had my fabulous four, Archangel Michael, I put him behind him every day in meditation. Archangel Michael have his back. I saw the Blessed Mother by his side. Now, mind you, I'm not religious, I'm not Catholic, but these were the four, fabulous four that came to me that I trust and have learned to work with and ask for help and release my fear and worries and guide myself and others on their journey. Blessed Mother to the right, Jesus to the left, and Archangel Raphael in front of them, guiding them with healing and support. And Archangel Michael behind, having their back and protection. The minute I did that, it made me feel so much better about them moving forward and me moving forward. And then after a couple months, I was told by divine guidance, you're really not letting go. You're holding on because you're still in fear. You don't trust that he's got this. See the light of his soul shining bright within him and taking over, like shining brighter than his human experience, that it will guide. And I have to tell you, after that, in the next couple months, literally Lou and I witnessed miracles. He did have it. He had it. And it wasn't helping him or myself to focus on fear or control or what if. It only kept him in that energy that I was focusing on. I don't have that much power, but it kept me in connection with him in that energy. That's what it did. Okay. So letting go creates freedom for you and your children. Now, here's the key for you. Once you move through and go through that grieving process, hopefully it won't be long and you won't get stuck in it, but you will emerge from it. And hopefully this video will help you become aware, because aware, acha, A-C-A, awareness. I should have created a little screen for that. Choice, you have a choice. You have a choice to pray for them, trust in them, trust in yourself and what you've given them up to that point. Trust in God and the universe and their divine family of many. Your loved ones in spirit can watch over them. You can ask them, right? Trust that somehow we make it through these transitions and changes. Trust that they will stumble and fall, but we're made to get back up, and you can support them doing that. So, but you also have the choice to rediscover yourself. And this is what the community that I've been in for the past year, supporting others. It's called awakenmytrueself.com, right? It's not called awakenmytrueself.com. That's just ingrained in me, Awaken My True Self community. And in this community, we support each other through so many different resources and teachings and guest speakers and coaching sessions and miracle moments and live events. And we support each other because we're all going through some type of change all the time, right? But when you start living the opportunity to know yourself in the midst of that change, you can be open to knowing more about yourself, your joy, your passion. What have you been putting on the back burner? Being a mother, a father, a caretaker, a grandparent. Where have you put your own needs and your own joys and passions to the side? Well, guess what? You're waking up to this great opportunity to know yourself, to find a sense of joy, purpose. What lights you up? This is the opportunity and the time. So I want you to pause for a moment and think about something you really, really wanted to explore or do or have more time to create, and play with maybe your creativity, play with, making some shifts and changes in your inner world or your exterior world. What's something that now you have the opportunity to know yourself, be yourself, and explore something that feels alive and exciting to you, right? Your kids are going off and exploring their newness. So be an example, be the light to them that you're going to be okay and that you are going to explore that light and opportunity and time for yourself to know yourself. There's so many different ways you can do this. Just ask your inner soul, your inner being, what is my opportunity now? Help me to know who I am now at this point in my journey. I'm ready to know who I truly am. And that means it's not like faking. This is about living something authentic, something that you've been curious about. You've been wanting, you've been waiting for that time. So this is your opportunity. So let's just review some of these supportive insights, because I want you to think about which one or which ones pop out to you. And then I'm going to look at your questions, pop out to you that seem really true and hit home to you right now. Have you felt a loss of identity? Your roles have shifted. Does that hit home for you? And it's called an identity crisis for a reason. But your soul is bringing you back to one of the most important questions to explore in your journey. Who am I? What is this all about? Why am I here? Next, are you holding on to suffering and holding on tight to your kids and what's going to happen and your fears and worries and trying to hold on to your past? Or are you freeing yourself and freeing your children to move forward? And are you ready for a new opportunity? This is a new beginning. Every change, no matter how big it can be an opportunity for rebirth, rediscovery, re-knowing. Okay, let me just look at some of the questions. And please type in any questions you have. Sharon says, prayer, that's the exact prayer. Sending 10,000 angels to surround them, and Archangel Michael is always my protector. Beautiful. And Barbara says, changes are always good. Sure does, going through a hard time. I'm not sure what that, but I'm sure some of these have hit home. And Sue says, let go and just trust. Yeah, this is an opportunity to explore that. Let go and trust. So keep posting your questions here. Ron Heather says, I know my kids are capable, but the world totally seems so daunting. I know, Heather, and I get it. But if we focus on not trusting this world and focusing all the things that could happen, maybe it's directing that energy to faith, prayer, and trusting that somehow, our kids and ourselves are exactly where we're meant to be, and that maybe you're going to redirect that energy to having some times to making that change in the world that you really want to see. That could be your opportunity. I know for me, it wants me to come into supporting others through my work and redirecting the fears to opportunities, or healing through the emotions to peace. So that has become more and more of my purpose, and spending more time doing that as my kids evolve into their next step. And I got to tell you, everyone, my kids, I had this feeling and this knowing that when they hit 25, they're not mine anymore. I love, and I can want to spend as much time as with my kids, but I have had such joy witnessing them grow and step into their own lives and their own creation and their own expression. It has been a pure joy for me. So we constantly, that letting go doesn't stop, everyone. It doesn't stop. We're always going to be their parent, but we're going to continue to have to let go and let them fly and live their own lives. So I hope this has been supportive to you. I'm going to be here for the next 5 weeks. I want you to check out that community I talked about. This is really what this community is all about. Go to awakenmytrueself.com and sign up for the wait list. I'm going to send you a free meditation that is about transforming. It's all guided meditation from me, transforming your fear into courage. So this will even give you more tools, the meditation. So all you need to do is go to Awaken My True Self, and you'll read all about the community and everything I have to offer in year 2. And then you can sign up there. And when you sign up, I will, in the next couple days, send you the meditation to support you on your journey. So again, I want to welcome you to join me every Tuesday. And I'll let you know the one that I'm not going to be here for, but Tuesdays at 222. And I will keep reading your posts and commenting. And I hope this has been supportive to you on your journey in the midst of change. All right. Blessings, everyone. Hit that share button. Hey, send this to those people that you know are going through this. Let them have that support. Hit that share button. All right. Blessings, everyone. Thank you.